Hello friends, this is Raj Sastry from Raj Option Trading. Today I want to talk about top gene editing stocks. As you know, gene editing is an emerging trend and there are a lot of good stocks taking advantage of this trend here. So with that, at the top of the list we got NTLA, Intelia, doing great, 642% performance in 1 year. And then you got Moderna. Everybody knows Moderna. This is a great COVID vaccine stock here. They got great treat and cure for cancer. So with that, it's a very top stocks here. 504% performance in 1 year. And then got Pacific Bio, a little bit lower dollar stock, $28. Nice performance, 344% in 1 year. And then you got Beam, Fate, which is one of my favorite here, and DTIL Precision, Editas, CRBU, ALNY, and even Arrowhead. As you can see here, nice performance in 1 year. And then we got more here, CRISPR. This stock trades very widely, and VCYT, Illumina, and so on and so forth. Let's look at many of these stocks in a little more detail and see what's the good gene editing stock to buy at this point and take it from there. And here we got a few stocks in the gene editing space. I've sorted this by 1 year performance for your convenience. And we also got a lot of nice statistics so you can make sense out of this. So at the top, we got the ticker, name, price, market cap. I could pay very close attention to insiders and institutions. If insiders are selling, that may be a little bit bad sign. But if the institutions are buying, that's a good sign. So we got a balance between what insiders are doing, what institutions are doing, and also how the stock is doing at this time, and see if it's a good time to buy. Many times insiders and institutions sell for some reasons, so we got to understand if it's a good time to buy or sell. And then you got sales here. Sales is very important. We got to look at sales growth. As you see here, I've listed 1 year and quarter over quarter sales growth. That tells you nicely if the company is growing their top line. Anytime company is growing their top line, it's always great to buy slowly on a pullback. And then you got here gross margin, net margin tells you how is the company's margin. If the company is having a nice gross margin like Moderna, like PACB here, I think those are good ones. You could buy them. Even otherwise, if the company does not have a gross margin, if the company is really working very hard, it's okay to buy some of those too. And then you got here debt to equity that tells you if the company is having too much debt on their balance sheet. As an example, PACB here, they got a little bit higher debt on the balance sheet. That's why its ratio is 3.6. We got to watch out when the ratio is higher than 1 and see if the stock is okay or are they too much leveraging on the finance side. And then we got RSI, relative strength index, that tells you if the company is in a good time to buy. Anytime RSI is below 55, that's a good time to buy. Indicates stock is sold off at these levels. As an example, PACB here, stock is sold off. That's why RSI is 48, below 55. Same is the story with the, as you see here, we got Arrowhead, same story. Stock is sold off at these levels, and also CRISPR and Illumina. And then you got IV percentile. If you're an options trading person, you got to pay very close attention to IV percentile. When the IV percentile is high, this represents implied volatility. When the IV percentile is high, you got to be option seller. For example, maybe Fate Therapeutics here and Editas. IV percentile is very high, and even ALNY. You could employ some strategies. You could sell some put options below the stock price, or you could even do things like strangles, sell some strangles, and take advantage. Be careful. Don't do if your account size does not warrant. Don't sell naked. Always try to do a spread. But if you want to buy the stock anyways, for example here ALNY or Editas, if you are willing to buy the stocks anyway, then you could sell some naked put below the stock price and earn a nice premium. If the stock comes to your level, you can buy the stock also. And then you got short float here. Anytime you see a high short float, for example 13% here for Beam, same story for Fate, Editas, again high IV percentile. So you could buy these stocks on the down days and they can give you nice short squeeze opportunities. That's why I like to look at the short uh, float here, and look at when to buy. Because these high short float gives you nice bounce back opportunities with a short squeeze. Then you got PS ratio, tells you from a valuation perspective the stock is expensive. For example, NTLA and Fate, I think they're a little expensive at these levels, and even Arrowhead as an example. Typically, you got to look at the industry. Anytime it's below 50, you got a little bit watch out and pay a little attention there. And then we got performance here, the 1 day, 1 week, all the way to 5 year. Anytime stock has been doing great, even in 5 years, that tells you this company's got staying power. It's not a one trick pony. And we got how much stock is off from 52-week high. Anytime it's off a little bit, I put it in red here, that tells it's almost at a 52-week high. But if it's off a lot, you see in green color here, it may be in a buying range right now. You could buy slowly. So with that, let's jump in and look at few stocks that I really love. So I highlighted few stocks in um, gray background here for you. For example, PACB, right now RSI is 48. Stock has been selling off here. I would buy some PACB, given there is a nice sales growth here, as you can see here, 1 year and quarter over quarter, and nice gross margin. I would buy some at these levels. And as you see here, Beam, Fate, DTIL, all of these work because they got a lower RSI, as you can see here, and also many of these have got nice sales growth here. I would buy some of these here. And Editas, as a bonus, you got insiders buying their stock. They're thinking stock is very low and stock has sold off. They identify that, they're buying it. That shows you insiders have conviction on this company here. I would buy Editas along with the insiders here. And as you scan through here with Moderna, institutions are buying Moderna at this level. Same is the story with the PACB, Beam, and even ALNY. It's okay to buy along with these insiders and hold a nice position. Many times, depending on the news, stocks like Moderna, even BioNTech, BNTX, they all drop off some days. On those down days, it's good to buy these hot biotech stocks. They will always bounce back nicely. So with that, let's jump into next chart here. We got few more here. Same thought process here. You can look at fundamentally strong companies with nice 1 year sales growth and quarter over quarter sales growth, and pay attention to what insiders and institutions are doing. For example, CLTX here, $4 stock, insiders are buying heavily. I would buy along with these insiders here and hold the stock. And then we got CLLS, institutions are buying at these levels. I would buy along with these institutions here. And also Fix here, $6 stock, very low market cap. Looks like institutions are buying this stock. I would buy some along with the institutions. So with that, I got here Sangamo Therapeutics here. Again, a COVID vaccine type play here. And they also do gene editing. So as you see here, insiders are selling, institutions are selling. Nice sales growth here. I love the sales growth. And RSI is 50, tells you stock is sold off at these levels. I would buy Sangamo at these levels along with the stocks like CLTX and also Fix, as you can see here, high institution buying here. So with that, let's jump in and look at a few charts here. Top of the list, we got PACB here. Nice looking chart. Stock is trying to bounce off of its 200-day moving average, as you can see here. Nice on the balance volume. Tells you there's a good support from big money managers here. People are buying the stock. So I would buy this stock along with these big money managers here. As you can see here, nice sales growth. I love it. They got a little bit higher debt on the balance sheet, but I think stock is oversold at these levels. I would buy here. And to look at the stock in a little more detail, I could go into a little more detail on this stock here. PACB, they're trying to turn positive on the earnings per share, as you can see here. And sales is pretty okay on a yearly basis. And shares outstanding is growing. I think this is understandable. Many of these biotechs need some money as a working capital. Time to time, they issue some secondary shares, which is okay. If you look at the quarterly basis here, on a quarterly basis, quarterly metrics, revenue is going up nicely. That's good. They're also spending money on R&D, research and development. That's always good for a biotech company, gene editing company. Got to spend on the R&D. I think they're doing nicely here, spending money on R&D. And the net income, I think it's not great at this point here. As you see here, quarterly net income is not very predictable. I think at least it's trending in the positive direction, which is okay. So with that, by looking at the detail here, I think PACB is okay to buy at these levels, especially there is no red flag and stock is RSI is low at these levels. So with that, let's go back here. Look at Beam here. Beam, I think it's a great looking stock. As you see here, stock is trying to bounce off of its 50-day moving average here. And as you see here, on the balance volume is pretty steady. That tells you there is a good support. People are buying the stock. So that's why I would buy some Beam Therapeutics here. As you see here, stock has been selling off a little bit. There's a high short float here that tells you stock can cause a short squeeze and stock price can go up. And then you got Fate Therapeutics. Fate, I think stock sold off, fell below the 200-day moving average. I could see the stock going about 200-day moving average as you go forward. I would buy some Fate at these levels, especially because stock is sold off heavily. RSI is 40, tells you stock is oversold, and nice sales growth as you can see here. And then you got Arrowhead. Arrowhead is again a great play. Stock sold off big time. Now it's trying to bounce back again. So I would buy some Arrowhead at these levels. As you see here, it's got a nice quarter over quarter sales growth. And RSI is 50. That tells you stock is still oversold. And let's look at one more chart here. We got CRISPR. As you can see here, CRISPR is a very good gene editing stock. As you see, stock is in a trading range right now. RSI is 49. Tells you stock is oversold. I would buy some CRISPR at these levels and take it from there. And we got Illumina. It's a great device play, medical device type play here. Helps with gene editing. Stock is sold off at these levels. It's trying to bounce off of its 100-day moving average here. I would buy some Illumina here. It's a wild trader as you can see here. So I would buy some at these levels and take it from there. And we got DTIL. It's a nice gene editing play here. Stock has been trying to bounce back a little bit as you can see here. On the balance volume is pretty steady, same as Illumina here. I would buy some DTIL at these levels. Nice sales growth, great. Stock is also oversold. RSI is below 55. And then we got here Sangamo. Sangamo, as you can see, a stock is selling off a little bit, trying to bounce back. On the balance volume is pretty steady. I would buy some Sangamo here. So with that, pay attention to IV percentile also. Typically, it's okay to buy when the stock is sold off and the volatility low. And because IV percentile is low, many of these stocks you could even buy some call options long term or even call spreads. Because IV percentile is low, you're not paying too much money for the call option. So with that, let's jump in. Thank you very much. Happy investing and trading. Please subscribe.